Are we about to see 3% interest rates? Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, let's look at this article written by Stephen Koukoulas discussing 3% interest rates. Now, job figures are very strong. Wages, well, we'll have to see if they start creeping up, but calls of 3% cash rates are not that surprising. For those of you watching at home, our cash rate is at 0.1%. Now, 3%, what Koukoulas is saying we might see, used to be considered an emergency rate. Okay, not what we have now. Back in the day, 3% was as low as they wanted to go because they still had emergency room to buffer, which is where we're at now, 0.1%. So we're already seeing rates climbing everywhere with all the banks. It's almost a daily occurrence, everyone. 3% from 0.1 to 3%. That's huge. That's going to have a big impact on a lot of loans. So let's have a look. The latest job figures are welcome news and fit with other evidence of an overheating economy and ongoing super strong demand for labor. In March, employment rose by 18,000, which is a solid result, while the unemployment rate remained a steady 4%. This is a fraction away from the lowest unemployment rate Australia has seen since 74. So that's it, guys. We're back in the 70s. So at one level, because the labour force data for March was not spectacular in the way many of the releases in the past 12 months or so have been, as the economy has climbed out of lockdowns and disruptions from COVID, the unemployment rate is nonetheless at a level no one was imagining a year or more ago. The broad view, even prior to the onset of the pandemic, was that full employment in Australia was consistent with an unemployment rate a little above 5%. Indeed, this is one critical reason why the RBA made a mistake and failed to cut interest rates earlier, because it feared easing monetary policy would stoke a surge in wages growth and with that runaway inflationary pressures. The more common view now is that the economy can grow and sustain an unemployment rate around 3.5 to 3.7%. This theory will be fully tested over the next 6 to 12 months as the economic expansion is primed by expansionary fiscal and monetary policies. Australia is not alone in achieving low unemployment. Indeed, our achievement is fairly modest when compared to many similar countries. Now, I am going to just jump over here, guys, as we're talking about the unemployment rate. We've got alternative ways of measuring it. You've got Roy Morgan. Their methodology is different to the ABS. The rule of thumb is double the ABS figures, and you get the Roy Morgan figures, which is at 7.8%. Feels a bit more realistic, doesn't it? But it's still going down, guys. I mean, you can see here, they were 11%, 12%, 16% in 2020. It was going nuts, guys. So that's it. And I know there are going to be people worried about the chads that can work only 1 hour a week. And then they're probably just, bench pressing for the rest of the week just to get, the Giga Chad look. But there's only about 15,000 of them in Australia. So good on them. Don't be tall poppy. Don't be pissed off at those that can pull it off. Isn't that the goal? The 1 hour work week, guys. Oh, shit, that'd be so boring. Honestly, it would definitely be so boring. You'd fill your time up with so much other stuff. I mean, I had 2 days where I had to not work. I was just laying on the couch. It's like when you hit my age, you're older, you've got a lot of, you can afford good computers. And if you're a computer gamer, you can play all these great games, but you got no time. You got no time as opposed to when you're a kid. Life works out like that sometimes. And it'd be so bloody boring. Anyway, so Australia's unemployment rate is broadly in the middle to upper half of the pack. Indeed, many countries have unemployment rates below 3.5. So Japan, Korea, Germany, Poland, New Zealand, the US, UK, and Australia. There we are. The big question for the economy, or the big questions for the economy are: how much lower can the unemployment sustain? When will the hard data show a material lift in wages growth? How will this flow into an already red-hot inflation? So interest rates will climb. Whatever the answer to these questions, there is little doubt a series of interest rate hikes are beckoning. If it were not for the timing of the election, the RBA would have lifted interest rates already. much like its counterparts in the US, UK, Canada, New Zealand, to name a few. There is still a real risk the RBA will bite the bullet and lift interest rates on May 3rd, less than 3 weeks before the election. If the March quarter inflation data, which will be released on the 27th of April, show headline inflation near 5% and underlying inflation well above the top end of the RBA's 2 to 3% band, a rate hike would be appropriate, albeit overdue. Over the next few months, such is the demand for labour as evidenced in various job advertisements and vacancy series, that the unemployment rate will break towards 3.75% and probably lower. The good news may be tempered if, as is also likely, it sparks additional inflationary pressure from an already elevated starting point, and as a result, the RBA hikes interest rates even more than the futures market is currently pricing. Get set for interest rates to become up to 3 percentage points Get set for interest rate increases of up to 3 percentage points over the next 18 months. The economy is strong enough to absorb such a move, and such a policy action is probably needed to bring inflation back onto the target range. What do you reckon, everyone? 3% increase to the cash rate. You know what? Let's play a game here. We'll open up this Excel file. So let's say, here's the scenario. You're at 1.99%, and let's say, just play it. We'll go to, 3%. So it's 4.99%. That means your mortgage, if it just increases by the 3% that the cash rate increases, and you're at a standard average mortgage, you're going up $1,000 a month. That's 45%. We'll have to see if it reaches this level. I don't know if it will. I don't think it will. People are going to go off a low fixed rate to a variable rate, or they'll make it work, but it's going to have an impact, and this will manifest in people's discretionary spending. So let's have a talk about this. We're going to see the impact of this in discretionary spending that people spend in a retail level, and that's going to flow through to the economy if interest rates go up and if they don't have the capacity to deal with it. Now, commentators are saying we shouldn't be worried. People have buffers. People have paid ahead. There are going to be some that are right at the edge. They're going to be in trouble. But hey, hasn't the government guaranteed all their mortgages, guys? So there you go. We'll all be paying for it. We'll all be paying for it. So we'll have to see. No one is going to be surprised when interest rates go up. We're all expecting it. That's why so many of us locked in rates when we even heard the Reserve Bank governor say it's not going to increase till 2024. None of us trusted him. Are you surprised? We'll have to see what happens, guys. It's definitely going to be an interesting year, regardless of who wins the election. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you want to support us, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon, or use our referral links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. Or if you know anyone that needs architectural services, guys, we have a lot of experience in education, commercial, and resource sector work. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. 3% rate rises. Who didn't trust? Maybe I should make some t-shirts going, I didn't trust Phil 2024, what bullshit that was. That could be funny. I should make some mugs. There you go. Or maybe do the One Nation thing and make some gin.